In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ideas on how to create a really compelling LinkedIn profile so that you get access to the best job opportunities. I'm not going to talk about cover photo, your profile picture, whether you should use featured media or not, but instead, we're going to focus on 3 key principles that if you follow them, you will get more hits by recruiters and hiring managers. The first big idea is the way in which we think about our LinkedIn profile. So one of the questions that I like to ask myself is, what is this for? What is your LinkedIn profile for? I used to think that my LinkedIn profile was a historical document that contained every single job that I'd done. But then I learned a more useful way to think about my LinkedIn profile, and I now believe that it is a marketing document. So your LinkedIn profile is a marketing document that is meant to market you as a UX designer. Now, who is it for? I would argue that it's best to design a LinkedIn profile for a hiring manager or a recruiter, because if we design for the best user, then it's going to work for everybody else, colleagues, potential collaborators, mentors, right? So now that we know that our LinkedIn profile is a marketing document, let's focus on the 3 key principles. The first principle is show me that you can do the work. So this specifically relates to your UX skills. Whenever you're talking about a project, I want to know, what industry is it in? Was it a mobile app, a desktop app? Which deliverables did you hand over to the client? And which tools did you use? Just tell me that you can do the job. Great. The next thing is, for everything that you have on your profile that is not UX related, show me how it connects to UX. So the way that I think about this is, imagine that you are in an interview with a UX designer, and they're going to ask you what sounds like a really rude question, but it's actually quite clarifying. They're going to say, why should I care that you did this? Why should I care that you babysat? Why should I care that you worked as a paralegal? Why should I care that you worked at Best Buy? Now, presuppose that there's very good reasons to care. I don't want you to walk away and say, you know what, you're right. It has nothing to do with this. Everything has to do with UX. So ask yourself that question and only answer those things. So for example, maybe you've worked as a paralegal and you might say that has nothing to do with my new career in UX. Well, it means that you've worked in a fast-paced environment. It means that you can be reliable, that you can be trusted, that you can work under tight deadlines, that you've worked with stakeholders. So all of those things are the ones that you want to be thinking about. Typically, understanding business needs, typically working with clients. Some of the most common translations might be that you worked with multiple stakeholders. Have a manager, have a boss, have colleagues, those are stakeholders. That you have understood business needs. If you worked in any kind of business environment, you can make that claim. So one great way of doing this is take a job description for a UX designer role and look at all of the bullet points, all of the ones that are UX and non-UX related. And now look at your experiences and ask yourself, which of these bullet points, what part of this language can I use to describe the experiences that I've had? And you'll see that there's going to be a lot, particularly around understanding business needs, client-facing roles, working with multiple stakeholders, managing a team, communicating in a business environment, working under pressure, working with deadlines, all of those things. The third thing, and this is something that is often ignored, is show me that you are a top performer. Show me that whatever you've done in the past, you've been great at doing it. But Karen, I don't want to be a teacher and that's why I'm moving into UX, or I don't want to be a paralegal anymore, that's why I'm moving into UX. That's okay. Why is it important to show that you're a top performer? So let's think about how hiring managers make decisions. The way that they make decisions is, I'm going to trust you and place a bet on you. If I can trust that you're going to be a top performer, how do I do that? The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Now, how can you show that you've been a top performer? There's many ways, but one that really works is quantification. So if you've been a teacher before, instead of just saying that you taught 3rd grade class, you might say, taught a weekly 90-minute class to 50 students. Or maybe you want to quantify the number of students that you taught per week, per month, or even per year. Or for instance, if you worked at a nonprofit and you managed a program, instead of saying managed a program, you might say managed a $10,000 program that served 500 youth across 3 states. Right? So there's many ways to quantify, and you can just try quantifying all of the things that you have, and then you play with the different puzzle pieces and see what makes the most compelling story. If you want to continue learning about how to create a compelling profile and become a really marketable candidate, make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you want to advance your UX skills, make sure to check out this free course from Springboard, which you can see listed down below.